what is up, fellow speedrunners and other fellow gamers? Welcome to another Speedrun Interview. I once again have another special interview for you guys. Today, I'm interviewing someone named GTAce. Alright, my friends, let's get started with the interview. Why did you start speedrunning?
So in August 2017, I was browsing YouTube while I was in bed, and this video by Summoning Salt showed up. A world record progression on Mega Man 2. I don't know what inspired me to click on it because that wasn't a game I had growing up. I haven't really played it, but I clicked on it and I really enjoyed the video. And luckily, the Super Mario Bros. Episode that he did was recommended right after it, and that is a game that I did grow up with. One of the first games I ever played, and probably the first game I ever beat as a very young child, so I knew I would like that video if I liked the Mega Man 2 record progression, so I watched that. I didn't know what speedrunning was at all, so this introduced me to the concept of speedrunning. I found it very interesting, and after that video, the next day I made a Twitch account to follow all of the speedrunners I watched in that video. And so that got me into watching live streams for the first time. I fell in love with the community. I just kept interacting with the people on Twitch and Discord and everything. And 2 months later, I decided to give it a try myself, and here we are 5.5 years later. I haven't stopped. It's been my one true passion in my life, and I just really love it. And I'm glad to be here still.
What games are you currently speedrunning, and what games do you plan on speedrunning in the future?
So currently I've been working on Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, which is the original Mario 2 that was released only in Japan for the Famicom Disk System. I've been doing the Warpless category recently. I've had the record a couple times. I'm trying to get the record back and lower it many more seconds, so that's been my major grind at the moment, but there's a bunch of other Lost Levels categories that I want to run and get the world record in. And then, when I'm done with that, I'll obviously go back to Mario 1. That's the game I'm most known for. I want to improve all my times. A lot of my times were the record when I achieved them, but not at all anymore. But even if they won't be record or anything, I just want to improve my times despite them being good. I want to reach my goals. I actually have a spreadsheet where I keep track of all of my goals. It's linked on my Twitch channel descriptions, but there's tons of different games, 90 different categories or whatever, that I want to come back to and just get better times in. There's some games in the future I'd like to run that I don't even know yet. I mean, it's been, almost 6 years, but my journey's just begun, so I'm gonna be here a while. I'll find many more games to run, many more categories to play, lower my already great times down more than I could even imagine. There's so much potential, so... And I love doing it, so I don't plan on stopping. We'll see what happens, but currently, Lost Levels is what you can expect to see.
What glitches, skips, and or tricks would you say has been the easiest and also the hardest for you to perform?
So a lot of the speedrun tricks I have to do are really hard, unfortunately. With optimal Mario gameplay, most things are pixel perfect, frame perfect, usually multiple frame, multiple pixel perfect stuff, but flagpole glitch has gotten easier over time, but that's 5 frame perfect inputs. It's pretty hard to do. The hardest trick, there's just so many. It's hard to choose, honestly. So many of them are just really hard, and you have to practice a ton to get down. There's some of the harder frame rules in Mario 1 that I've saved, like the tying the TAS in 8.2 and 8.1 require a crazy amount of stuff. One of the hardest things I've ever done in a speedrun, though, is in my glitchless personal best, a former world record. It was the first ever 502 in the category, and it was a big deal of a run because the 8.4 I performed in that run had 25 frame perfect inputs at the end of a run, because at that point in the glitchless category, the only frames you could save were in 8.4, and I went all out doing the fast accels in every room, many frame perfect jumps, pixel perfect bumps, frame perfect movement. It was a ridiculous run. and I'll forever be proud of that. And it was definitely like one of the hardest things I've done. It took like 200 attempts just getting to 8-4 for that. Luckily in that category, the other levels are pretty easy and glitchless, but the only reason my record was being missed because I didn't go for a harder frame rule, which the current record now doesn't get an 8-4 even close to what I performed, so that's definitely like my proudest run in terms of difficulty. The easiest trick actually, and this is funny, is that I can think of at least, in 2-1 of the lost levels, so if you're doing like warpless runs, I accidentally discovered a way to despawn the flag at the end of the level, and it saves 2 frame rules, which is 0.7 seconds. And it's actually a big deal for the category, like any time save that can be found there, especially in like old 2D Mario games, is a massive thing. And I found it completely on accident, and it's actually super easy to pull off. All you have to do is hit the vine in the level, and then hit a Koopa towards the end of the level, so it faces a certain direction, which as long as you like hit it as early as you can, it's pretty easy. So anyone can do it, like you could do it at home if you gave it a try. I have a video on my channel of me discovering the despawn that tells you like kind of what you have to do and shows you. So if you want to give it a try yourself, go ahead. It's actually really easy and saves time, so it's pretty cool.
What are some games that you were shocked to see others speedrun?
I don't really get shocked with speedruns anymore. Like, there's just so many games that make for great speedruns that, and honestly, you can just take any game and it'll most likely make for a good speedrun. Obviously, there are some caveats to that, but it's crazy just the amount of things people find in even the most obscure trash games that just make it this really cool spectacle. Like, you can go to any game in your collection, no matter what it is, and look it up on speedrun.com. There's probably a community already there that have found some of the coolest things that you never thought would be in that game. So yeah, I just don't get shocked anymore, but I love just what people have done with all of these games in speedrunning. It's incredible to see, and so I wouldn't say I get shocked. I'm just like pleasantly surprised of what I've seen and will see in the future.
What is your biggest goal for speedrunning?
I don't have a biggest goal in speedrunning per se. Like, again, as I said earlier, I have like a goal list that I kind of try to keep track of all of my times I've ever done. And I set like some goals for me here and there, but I'd say my biggest goal in terms of speedrunning is to just do it for a long time. Is to maybe find a way to, you know, financially be able to do it as long as I possibly can. I don't know how. It'd be cool to find a way to make content on it. I love streaming and do it as frequently as I can. It'd just be... So yeah, my main goal is to just find a way to do it to the best of my ability for as long as I can, because I've never been more passionate about anything else. I love this community. I love going to events. That's like my favorite part. My favorite part is going to GDQs, going to other events, hanging out with other speedrunners that I'm happy to call friends now, and I just never want to lose that. This is an incredible community, and I just want to stick around to see what happens in the coming years, so whatever I have to do to keep doing that is my biggest goal in speedrunning.
And those are all the questions for the day. And like GTAce, it really amazes me on like how passionate you are with speedrunning. The whole time, like looking at your answers, I could tell that like you are one of the most passionate like people in this community I've ever seen, and also one of the most passionate I've ever had in my interview series. And it makes me happy to have such a great, passionate speedrunner like yourself on my YouTube channel. I can't talk. And it also makes me happy on how much you love everyone and like everything in the community. We definitely need like a lot more great people like that in this community, and I'm happy to have you in this community as well. So yeah, thanks again for joining in on my interview series. It was great to have you. And if any of you would like to check out GTAce, I'll leave a link to his Twitch and YouTube in the description down below. Alright my friends, that's it for this interview. If you enjoyed it, speedrun hitting that like button as fast as possible. And if you want to see more speedrun related content, Glitch the subscriber button, turning it gray. Thanks again for watching. See y'all next time. Goodbye, my friends.